I have one strong point that I want to make about the mental health teams here. Well, the one in Havering and the one Good Maze. They forced me to get into my property on the 27th of January 2026. They had a warrant, so they forced their way into my property. And then I wanted to stand outside while talking to them, but they wanted to get inside. The whole point is so that they get in, ask you a few questions, and then force you out of your property. Now, the other point is that even though they knew that was my property, they still forced me out. As in, I pay the mortgage there. But when we were here, Surika Smith started pretending that she didn't know that I was a homeowner. She was looking for someone else that morning, but she went and asked for a warrant for arrest. And the reasons stated on the warrant are not looking good enough and living alone. That's the reason. If I remember, I'll use it as a cover picture. Now, to force yourself on someone so that you prove that they can look good and they don't live alone is the result. I mean, what? Apparently she's a student. She's studying something in the mental health. So she was looking for someone to experiment on. That's why I'm here. The other reason, of course, is that apparently the neighbors, they raised concern. It's a sinking ship. We shouldn't have joined. And it's not even the Titanic. Because these guys are a criminal gang. So maybe in that sense, maybe you know better. Maybe you're already on the Titanic. Okay. So another approach, which is still the same point of forcing yourself onto someone and then reacting to see the difference. Yesterday, someone tried to bully me, tried to take off my pins. Very safe and secure, expensive pins. Because they do the job. They're not flimsy. They don't suddenly unclip and cause harm. I've just realized I got a pajama bottom, a pajama top. Well, I did get bottoms too, but I got a top without buttons at all. See how this works? So I've been forced into this place, right? And to get me out on any given occasion, even to just go out to the courtyard, they want to assess you first. They want to check if you're mentally okay, if you're safe to go out, if you're not going to be a harm to yourself and to other people. I'm in here with people who will easily cut themselves, who will easily, stupidly try to top themselves. So easily. These are prescription glasses. Sorry, it's PG rated today for a reason. People who will easily slit any veins they can see. Should they pop up here, you'll see it really soon. And in here, what I'm realizing is I am probably being forced to learn how to become a mental health nurse. Because I've overstayed here, now I have to become friends with them. I have to learn how to live with them instead of running away and crying my eyes out at seeing how vulnerable people can be. And then having to pretend and smile and wave the next day. When inside, the medication is really not hitting the spot. So I'm being assessed to see if I'm going to do that to myself or to someone else. All this time of calling the police on those criminal neighbors seems to not have counted. Apologies to those who are affected by my prescription glasses. The normal pair was broken in a burglary. The neighbors confess they did it. Hearsay is evidence too, you know that. Hearsay is enough to report crime on. It's legal. It's actually legal. And sometimes laws are transferable. I found it out through the taxation laws. They just need to find a clause and find it transferable. So today, I don't have to complain about them not giving me buttons. But goodness gracious, I might just do. Just to prove the point. That these guys yesterday tried to bully me to take these pins away from me. And now, I mistakenly got a gown without buttons. But I am safe to keep my pins on me. That's the point I would be proving if I went there to the nursing station to say something. The only challenge is that they cannot comprehend it when you try to say something that is worthwhile. So that's why I might just keep this video until a worthwhile moment when they need representation for what they've done to me in this place. You know, the only problem and reason why I have been speaking up is that my life is at risk. I would rather not be baby P or a Middlesbrough victim who gets topped and then the rest of us are reading about it in a textbook. But you know what? In both those occasions, people did not actually have capacity. And the people that did have capacity did the whistleblowing thing. I don't know if anyone behind the scenes here has actually done the whistleblowing thing. I have to control my family's appearance here because they're going to get taken in. And they're not getting it. We've only just reconciled because I know they were not part of the whole instigation in August 2026. I now know that it was the neighbors at Flat 4 Oak House, Cotton's Approach, RM7. Listen, if you think you're going to do something about it, the do something about it should not involve going there camping because they're going to ruin your life. And you'll be thinking it's a party. It's not a party. Ask the people who find out a year later that gonorrhea is not sweets, a cake. Yeah. Sexual predation on a platter. Don't do it. And it's not even the platter like you've gone to Hollywood or you've gone to Las Vegas. There are no heels. There are no bow ties. Just gonorrhea on a platter. Because some people just think sex is a platter. You could have just been patient and waited for someone clean or done the homework. Giving that address is not to give you to license to go and kill yourself, because that's essentially what it will be. You need to highlight it to relevant people, police, anti-terror teams, because modern slavery, sexual predation, and terror are all needing urgent response. Not from the local bill who you chit-chat with or who they've been chit-chatting with. I think at this stage we need people who've been raped in that flat to actually give them up. Whichever borough that you report it from would probably be best. Let other teams put pressure on Romford. Because Romford, I think there's a few crooked people. Or maybe they've just been enjoying the game. But goodness gracious, this guy said he's not a Muslimism. He's a radicalist. I think that's enough to flag it up. Zubir Francis. I don't know what deal he made with Surika. But to come that early in the morning after, between the hours of 4 to 5 a.m., Zubir and Zain were arguing about how are we going to prove that she needs to be taken away by mental health team. They didn't use a mental health expert. They used a student. Delusions of grandeur. And you know when she found out that she did it wrong? Right at the doorstep of getting me into a ward. She suddenly just thought, wait, who owns your property? And I said, I do. Remember? I said I had to forfeit a mortgage payment so that I changed the block. And her face froze. She knew what she had done. That's why your name is stuck in my head, Surika Smith. Plus, I read the warrant for arrest. What a big mistake you've made. I can't believe you did this. Oh well. This has been 12 minutes with Carush. We're definitely going to find a really high profile lawyer for this.